Okay, gentlemen, so you've lost some body fat, right? Your arms are getting a little bit leaner, your face is getting more defined, but you still can't lose the lower belly fat around the midsection. And don't worry, gentlemen, we are going to fix it and solve it in this video. I have a very detailed way, a 4-system way to lose the stubborn body fat around the stomach. And it sounds complicated, right? And I'm sure you're annoyed at this point, but I'm telling you, bro, you can do it. It's not as complicated as you're thinking it is or making it out to be in your head. So it's a little bit cooler on my farm today. I'm looking out at my Angus beef, my black Angus beef. We have a organic regenerative farm here, and I really want to go over this stuff with you. We'll talk about the farm in another video, but basically, why is my belly fat still here? Even though you're training, you're going to the gym, you're doing everything correct, why do you still have lower belly fat? So, number one, gentlemen, you have to understand, okay, that fat loss is not linear. It can go up, it can go down. This is why I teach, at American Styling, don't get married or obsessed with the scale. Okay, get obsessed with what you see in the mirror, as I do. Every morning I wake up and I just piss excellence. I look at myself and I'm like, damn, that's a handsome son of a gun. He's ripped. Wow, everyone wants to talk to me. Women want to date me, okay? People want to do business with me. Clients, we have new clients coming in every day. They want to do business with us. So, number one, gentlemen, fat loss is not linear. Why? Genetics and DNA. Everyone's genetics and DNA are slightly different and are going to affect fat loss in a different way. So for me personally, I lose my body fat pretty quickly, right? I get around my face, my neck, I'm leaning down, okay, my stomach. For me, I lose it faster in my stomach region. But my arms and my legs are always the last to go. I don't know why, it's just what it's been since the dawn of my existence when I've been trying to lose more belly fat and get leaner. Every time I go into a slight mini cut, right? And when I first started learning this stuff 10 years ago, it was the same thing. I'd have a tighter, leaner section in the midsection, but my arms and legs, they just wouldn't lose it. So you might be the opposite. You might be like, dude, my arms are ripped. I got veins. I got calf veins. But my midsection doesn't look like yours. Genetics and DNA. So, next to genetics and DNA, why weight loss or fat loss is not linear, is hormones, which we're going to get into. I have both, and stick around to the very end, gentlemen. I'm telling you, we have both sides of this whiteboard completely plastered with information so you can get ripped into better shape or just healthy, right? You don't have to be ripped, but you need to be healthy. If you're a man and you are not healthy, you're a liability. You're a liability to yourself, to your company, to the team that you lead, to your family, to the people around you, to your community, to your church. You have to be lethal, you have to be dangerous, and you have to be a physical asset, not a liability. So, hormones, okay? And we're going to get into it right here. Right here. High cortisol affects hormones. They are linked. If your cortisol is high, your testosterone is going to be low. If your testosterone is low, your ability to put on muscle, get leaner, develop an amazing physique, lose the stubborn belly fat, okay, that we're talking about in this video, right? Belly fat is going to be very, very difficult. You have to have your hormones in check. Okay? High cortisol stores fat, breaks down muscle, decreases testosterone, right? Right here. Decreases testosterone. Bad sleep decreases testosterone. Low testosterone decreases body composition and makes it harder to lose the belly fat. Increased hunger and cravings, which cause what? More binging at night or on the weekends, causing you to what? Eat over your small deficit, right? We always recommend a small deficit, 300 to 500 calories max. But if you're high cortisol, because of the things we're going to be talking about on the back of this whiteboard, because you're doing too much cardio and you're killing yourself in the gym, you're going to have a very hard time losing that last section of belly fat. You know, or for me, it's the arms and the legs because I'm already pretty lean, and that's what my genetics dictate. But for you, likely, it's your lower belly fat, back fat, that area there. Okay, so lastly, high cortisol slows metabolism, and your BMR, or basal metabolic rate, which is primarily the number one way to burn calories, right? Well, I burn calories in the gym. Shut up. You do, but it's only 200 to 300 calories. The majority of your calories are going to come from your basal metabolic rate, which for most men is somewhere between, depending on how fucked up or optimized they are, 1,600 to 24. I've even seen it as high as 2,600. Like someone like me, I got a lot of muscle. I'm very active. I'm very metabolically healthy. So this is where the majority of your calories are going to be burned from. Not the gym, not 25,000 steps with a 20-pound ruck, not running a half marathon, not a CrossFit class, right? I like all that stuff. I'm not, guys, I'm training for an Ironman. I've done ultras. I like that. But I'm different, bro. I'm already lean and I'm advanced. I'm very advanced. So, okay. If your metabolism is slowed, BMR is trash, it's going to directly play into hormones and making your genetics in DNA, it's going to be even harder to lose this. So, okay, let's flip the script though. We have high cortisol. What does optimized cortisol look like? Someone like me, for example, I have optimized cortisol, but I work very hard to do this, gentlemen, because I'm training for Ironman. I ran almost 20 miles yesterday after biking 2 hours. How am I able to wake up lean and optimized in the cortisol department? Well, we're going to get to it on the back side. Just hold on. But let me explain this because this is very important. If you don't understand this, right, fat loss is not linear. Genetics, DNA, hormones play a role. High cortisol is directly correlated to hormones, right? You can fix this. Look, you can fix the high cortisol. You can't really fix the genetics and DNA, but you can optimize it, and this is what we're teaching, right? So we want to get rid of high cortisol, and we want to optimize it, because when your cortisol is optimized, gentlemen, you burn fat more efficiently. You build muscle much easier. It supports testosterone. Testosterone goes up. You get better sleep, which helps testosterone go up more, which helps pack on more muscle, which helps increase body composition, which helps to make you look leaner. You see how it's all interconnected. You have to understand that if you are going to the gym and doing cardio and running a business, or you're working 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and you're being a present father, and you're going to church, and you're doing this, and X, Y, Z, you're going to increase cortisol. And if you're over 40, it's going to be, bro, it's too much. It's too much. That's why you're like, well, all these other YouTube guys or Instagram guys, these influencers, they're ripped. You're not them, and they're not you. All they do is work out all day, and the majority of them are blasting TRT, HRT, Anavar, other steroids that I don't even know about. I've never taken a single steroid in history. In my entire lifetime, I've never taken any of that stuff. But my full-time job is fitness, so it makes it very easy for me to optimize cortisol, which we're going to get to in the back. So, also with an optimized cortisol, regulates hunger naturally. That's huge. So you're not going to be binging at night, because the majority of you are eating pretty clean. You're doing pretty well. But at night, just a few almonds, a couple walnuts, a handful of granola. Before you know it's 1,000 calories. And your hunger levels, you can't control them because you're doing too much and your hormones are all fucked up. And then lastly, optimized cortisol, strong metabolism, right? Strong, high BMR. So, let's talk about, I hope you guys can see this. I don't know. I should get one of my assistants. Let's talk about how to fix it all. Because we talked about how you're doing everything kind of right, but you're still having a hard time losing the stubborn belly fat. Number one is nutrition, gentlemen. I've said it a million times. I'm out on my farm. I'm looking out at my pasture, my cows, my black Angus cows. It's all grass-fed. You have to eat in congruence with nature, which means natural food from the land. Whole food, single ingredients, animal-based, grass-fed, grass-finished beef, raw dairy, eggs, fruit, honey, organic maple syrup. And if you can tolerate it, some white rice, some potatoes, some tubers, some fermented vegetables. I've even outlined a rough, okay, I can't, on the last video I said, text me or DM me or hit me up and I'll give you my macros and calories, my recommended suggestions. A few of you did, bravo Zulu. More of you, please do that. Hit us up on Instagram at American Stallion. We always are DMing people back there. We have a company, we have 18 employees. Some of them monitor the DMs to help me out because we want to help all of you out. We get hundreds of DMs. Breakfast, eggs and dairy, non-negotiable. 3 to 6, depending on you, your body fat, your current activity levels, right? Your height, your weight, things like that. And then dairy, your dairy bowl with fruit. Lunch, beef, ground beef, ground bison, 93.7, 80-20, once again, depends on you, your calories, what we're doing, your metabolic health, right? Are we doing higher fat, slightly lower carb? We're doing higher carb, lower fat because you're an athlete and you're training for an endurance event and you're already metabolically healthy. So it all depends. Some white rice, some potatoes. Dinner, ribeye, fermented foods at night for the gut health. Many of you likely don't need more carbs at night. Breakfast and lunch, you need them. Dinner, not so much. We don't want to really spike insulin levels at night if you're not metabolically healthy. Okay, so then lastly, training, right? So we have nutrition covered, right? And then training. Over here, the chronic cardio guy. Guys, yeah, but you're training for Ironman. You're not me, and I'm not you. And I'm advanced. I'm a fitness samurai. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. And like I said, outside from farming, I got a small real estate portfolio and this fitness business at American Stallion of 20 employees. I don't have much else to do but to train like an animal and recover like a savage, because recovery is key. So am I a cardio guy? Yes. Am I a strength guy? Yes, I'm both. I'm hybrid. I hate using that term because it's stupid, but everyone, I'm hybrid. But it is what it is, bro. Someone who runs and lifts is a hybrid athlete. So chronic cardio guy, though, depletes his muscle mass, increases cravings. This is very advanced. Like I said, if you want to be a chronic cardio guy and be lean, it's very advanced because it jacks up cortisol and stress. And if you don't know how to manage it and you're not already metabolically healthy, good luck. And likely if you're doing, 20,000 steps, incline treadmill, you're running every day, you're doing these high intensity, steady state cardio sessions, right? Or HIIT sessions, high intensity interval training, right? And you're not doing just normal, low intensity, steady state, you're always going to be hungry, you're always going to be tired, and you're going to be more apt to go over on your calories and overeat. Not to mention, you're not going to stay dry looking. You're not going to stay dry looking and lean looking because you're going to be filled with water. It's going to be in your face. It's going to be in your gut. It's going to make it harder for you to lose that belly fat. So don't do this, okay? Be this guy. Be the strength guy. Be the guy who goes to the gym 3 to 4 times a week and just walks and lives a healthy lifestyle. Someone who wakes up, looks up at the sun, right? Sets his circadian rhythm, gets steps, connects in nature, connects with others, connects with God, has a good relationship with God, right? With Christ, the Lord. All these things matter more than you think when you're trying to do this naturally, which is what we preach on our channel. We're all about, sustainability and doing it naturally. Because I just find, if you're not going to do it naturally, what's the point? Like if I had to drop you off into a jungle or a desert and you had no resupply and you ran out of your TRT or your testosterone or your steroid, you're fucked. You're fucked. So I never wanted to be in that situation. I don't want to have to rely or depend on anyone. The government, the food industry, the supermarket, no one. That's why I live out on this farm. So the strength guy, though, his cortisol is going to be in control. It's going to be in check. Less stress, increased muscle, better body composition, right? With more muscle comes better body composition. Many of you don't need more muscle. You just need to get leaner and to increase your body composition, right? So hunger's regulated, stable energy. You're not going to want to binge. You're not going to want to crave it out because you're not going to be exhausted from these long, drawn-out cardio sessions, 60 to 90 minutes, 2 hours plus. I mean, God. So hit the gym 30 to 60 minutes a day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you're a little more advanced, you can get away with 4 days. I'm currently doing 3 days a week in combination with my Ironman training, and it serves me well. I didn't lose much muscle because I'm advanced and I know what I'm doing. But for you, someone who's trying to lose the belly fat, you don't want all this crazy stuff, bro. All you want to do is just hit the gym 3 to 4 times a week. That's more than enough. 30 to 60 minutes, in and out, fast, intense. Lift heavy. You need to lift heavy. Don't kill yourself, but you need to lift heavy to stimulate muscle growth and to keep muscle on, like signaling the body, right? As you're losing that body fat, that belly fat, you need to signal the body to keep muscle. And the only way to do that is by lifting in the gym and lifting heavy, not running. I like running. I'm just saying, this video is about losing the stubborn belly fat. This is why you're not losing it. And then lastly, gentlemen, you got to be realistic about the timeline, okay? Months 1, 2, 3, 4 is really, the precision fat loss phase, is what we call it at American Stallion. That's when you're losing body fat, right? And we're doing it in a natural way with a small caloric deficit, eating real food. Then months 5, 6, 7, and 8, we're rebuilding, you're reverse dieting, you're increasing metabolism, right? Because you can fuck this up going from phase 1 to phase 2 to phase 3. I see a lot of guys, they get stuck here and they yo-yo diet and they stay in this phase 1, this fat loss phase for a very long time, and they don't correct their metabolism and metabolic health after coming out of a slight deficit. And honestly, bro, it shouldn't take you that long. If you're already starting to lose some body fat, you shouldn't need more than 3 to 4 months to lose the fat. Like if you're like, well, I've been in a deficit for 12 months, you're doing it wrong. And then in these months 5, 6, 7, 8, at month 8 is when you're going to start to look good because your metabolism is going to be firing. It's going to be through the roof. If you did it right with the right food, the right reverse of the diet, right? You brought the calories up, 200 calories per week, every single week, and you watched your body composition improve. You watched your body fat stay down. The weight on the scale barely went up. Maybe a little bit water, glycogen from the extra carbs. Fine, that's normal because we're going to use it to build strength and muscle. And by month 8, you should be looking really good. And then 9, 10, 11, 12 is when you continue to hone in your process. And then you can add back in some of the cardio and some of the other stuff that you were doing before. Maybe you want to get into half marathons or full marathons, Spartan races, CrossFit, Ironman. I'm not sure. Maybe you want to buy a farm like me and you want to do work all day on the farm and strength train. That's fine. But that comes after you've already done this, right? Precision fat loss. And then you have your metabolic calibration phase. We call that month 5 at American Stallion. And then month 6, 7, 8 is maximum capability and aesthetics. And we continue to hone in on that in 9 through 12. But realistically, guys, to develop an amazing physique, you're looking at minimum, if you do everything right, 6 to 9 months. So just keep that in mind. And don't beat yourself up too, right? If you've been dieting for, and I hate the word dieting, but it's the only thing you guys understand. If you've been dieting for like 3, 4, 5 months, be patient with it and understand either you're doing it wrong or you're doing it right and your body's just taking a bit longer to respond, because what we talked about on the front side of this presentation, right? We talked about fat loss is not linear, genetics, DNA, hormones. So that's all I have for you guys today. Belly fat, it can go away, but you have to, it's a lot more, advanced than the industry makes it out to be. And if you don't have the right tools, you don't have the right vehicle, you don't have the right protocol, you don't have the right system, you could end up, I'm not saying you will, you could end up struggling for a long time. So that's why I created this video, because I've been getting a lot of DMs about, hey bro, how do I lose that belly fat? So this is how you guys do it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and perhaps I will see you at the top.